should be live.
Alrighty.
Exciting stuff.
Technical checks.
For real.
Yeah. Make sure we have audio this time, which I'm pretty sure we do.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the stream right now.
I can see the audio bars from here.
Yeah, we're live.
Yep.
Cool. Welcome back to the stream, guys. My name's Garrett here with you from the Tac City Tech Department. Today, I am just getting through our queue of guns. Had a couple things drop off today. This guy is a Krytac gearbox in a Noveske, I think maybe an EMG body. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions for us, hit us in the live chat. You can find all our other contact information on the website, including our phone number and our email, which is taccitytech@taccityairsoft.com. Feel free to shoot us any questions, concerns, suggestions you guys might have there. If you're annoyed that we don't have that part you came in 3 times a week looking for, let us know there. All right, so we checked this guy in today thinking that he would be a quick change, but it was not, unfortunately. Krytac guns, as they come, the gearbox is a quick change, so that feature is still there. But the thing about Krytacs is that the receiver does not allow any way for the spring guide to come out the rear of the gun, so we still have to take the gearbox out, unfortunately. This poor laptop. I could just hear the fans, wow. Looks like we got a viewer calling in, guys. Just kidding.
Almost doxed the guy constantly on the stream.
Yeah. I think we got to hit him with the, you may be recorded for whatever purposes. Do you consent?
Also, do want to make a quick note for any YouTube moderators in here. These are gel blasters, not real firearms.
Yeah, as you can clearly see with the upper receiver off, this is not how a real firearm looks, I think. I've never seen a real gun before, have you?
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, actually, could you pass me my flathead?
Yeah, I thought guns were banned.
Thanks, man. This is my favorite. Yeah, for the sake of, don't rewind, because I think that tip on it was probably orange. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so essentially what I've done so far, because his mag release screw was actually kind of loose on there anyway, it was bothering me, I took that off first. But second thing I did was take off his upper receiver. Usually that's step one. If we're taking a gearbox out of a body, upper receiver has to come out. Otherwise, there's no way to lift the gearbox out of the body. After that, usually, well, the stock was already off. That comes off. Pistol grip is coming off right now. Once that's out, these pins are going to come out much, much easier, and then our gearbox will be free. Motor's out. Pistol grip is now free. I believe our guest said he purchased this gun off of Hop Up, and after putting a different Hop Up unit in the gun itself, instead of shooting 345, 350 like it should have, he's now shooting 375, so we're just trying to correct that. Okay, so pistol grip came off. There's actually only one screw. Normally there's 2. I see the problem. That's kind of funny here. Maybe you guys can see. There are 4 holes for the screws here. The wires are covering one. The one by my index finger right there, there's actually still part of a screw stuck in there, so that's why there's only one screwdriver holding his grip down, because the other one's stripped. That's just par for the course on Hop Up. Okay. should be good to go. Maybe not. Nope, not quite. Okay, so his spring guide is actually loose in the body. It's quick change, but what's happened, it's been pushed in, turned 90 degrees, and now it's actually trying to come out the back of the receiver. So, can I borrow your Phillips flathead bit driver?
Phillips flathead? Oh,
Yeah, the one with the fat handle. The yellow one.
The yellow one?
Yeah. It had a flathead in it. I used it earlier. Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
It's the only thing I can offer you.
Oh, that works too, but that's not the right tool. Okay. So what was happening right there is this guy was trying to come out like that as I'm pulling it out of the receiver.
Wait, finish the cotton too.
Nah, it's no big deal. We know what we're doing. Okay. Now that I've solved that problem, when you're doing Crytac gearboxes, because they have an ambidextrous safety on them, it's usually, well, this one doesn't. I think actually it's probably been taken off. Yeah, it has. But on normal Crytac, when you're doing a downgrade, what you would normally try to do is don't take the receiver, don't separate the gearbox and the receiver any more than you need to just get the spring guide out. Because you pull this thing up too high, what's going to happen? The parts for your ambidextrous selector are going to fall off the gearbox. And it's just a little bit annoying to set them back up. All right. I'm sure we've done a downgrade stream before, right?
I don't think we have, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
This is kind of the bread and butter of what we do here at Tax City. So all I'm going to do for this customer, because he didn't provide us with another spring, is I'm just going to take his and I'm going to trim it. We're shooting 375 after all my 500 years of airsoft experience. I'm the most experienced tech known to man. I'm going to guess probably about this much, roughly, is going to get us below 350, and he should be happy with that. Yeah, that feels okay. Wow, saw one at 380. Yeah, okay, so now I'm just going to actually literally cut his spring. Pop it back in. Now we just do a reverse step of everything we did. Usually selector wants to be put towards more like a 50, 60 degree angle-ish when you're trying to pop these guys back in. Just because of the way the Crytacs rock into the actual body itself. At least on a Crytac receiver. This one seems a little bit different. Because wouldn't you know it, it's not a Crytac receiver. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's wild, man. I thought Crytac was proprietary.
Imagine that. Well, they kind of are. It's definitely a weird fitment, but I mean, someone tried it and it worked.
I mean, I had a Crytac body fit in the Lancer, no problem.
That's crazy.
Crytac to U Street.
Just kidding. Yeah.
So it was actually kind of sketch because you had to like flex the receiver to get it in. But like,
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we sell full, complete Crytac gearboxes here. By the way, guys, we just started carrying a couple different kinds of complete pre-built gearboxes. Not that we have done any kind of custom work to them, but like from the manufacturer. Like we sell complete KWA gearboxes, complete Crytac shells with all the parts and springs and all that. We got some ZCI gearboxes that, while they have the stock trigger contacts and all that stuff, I was actually pretty impressed with the internal parts. Matter of fact, I installed one of those in our friend's gun here today. Nice black shell. Comes stock with the ZCI stainless steel ribbed cylinder. Aluminum nozzle, comes with 8mm bearings. Quick change gearbox out the back. Full metal steel rack piston on there. I was actually pretty impressed when I saw the inside of this. Now there's no MOSFET, so that's kind of lame, but it's not hard to put one in. And we also sell those EMG SEMA Platinum gearboxes. Those are pretty good. The only thing, ironically, wrong with that is the MOSFET, because those tend to pop pretty fast if you're expecting any kind of serious speed or performance out of your gun. You're probably going to see something like that in a custom build coming up pretty soon, because those are very good gearboxes to come off. And what's kind of nice about them, they also come with a motor. Okay. When we're reinstalling the motor, we do want to pay attention to the placement of the wires itself in relation to the motor and the pistol grip. We don't want these wires sitting on. It's kind of difficult to see. See if I can get some light in there. No, not really. Anyways, there's a rib on the front and back of this where the screws sit. The wires cannot be sitting on top of that, otherwise there's not going to be enough room for the motor to go in. Yeah, it should just drop in freely like that. Now you want to be careful when you're putting your motor connectors back on. Everyone breaks them, but you're not supposed to. I don't want to have to resolder anything else onto this guy's wiring, because this is supposed to be a quick job. Do we get a live viewer count with this anymore, or do we just have that chat
We just have
box?
that chat.
Okay.
I don't think we get a live viewer count.
Cool.
We see it after, though.
I guess. Nobody's active in our chat, though.
Yeah, please, get active.
I guess I'll see you in the replay.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just trying to make sure this wire is not going to get in the way when I put his motor plate back on. You don't want to crush these wires. These are already kind of stripped. They came like that. Shout out Hop Up Airsoft. Just kidding. It's not Hop Up's fault. You want to try to not crush these wires against the actual motor plate when you're reinstalling this thing. So I just like to make sure they're nice and out of the way. Cool. Screw that bad boy back in. Now you might have noticed all the tape on this stubby stock over here. That's because our customer here has an interesting battery solution. He bought a stubby stock, but wouldn't you know it, his battery is too big to fit in that. So tape works, I guess. This is actually a hard case LiPo battery, which is not intended for airsoft. I mean, the battery does the same thing as any other battery. It's just these bulky sizes. These are more for like radio-controlled vehicles, boats, cars, probably some larger planes, I would imagine. Probably don't want giant batteries in your plane. What do I know? It's not airsoft, so. Can't shoot at each other with fake cars. All I'm doing right now is simply screwing this in. Sorry about the angle. I'll try to be more conscious, make sure you guys have a better view of what's going on. Now the part that you guys are not going to be able to see is when I go and chrono this thing, so you're going to have to take my word for it. Okay, that's in. Mag release is the last part that has to go inside the lower receiver. So grips in, pins are in, stock is in place. You know what, actually this pistol grip doesn't look like it has the best fitment with his, with that body there. Maybe that's something to point out to him. Could also be just because there's a stripped screw in there that pistol grip isn't being held in place properly. So I might want to bring that to his attention. Is this a 7.4?
Yeah. That's a big 7.4.
Yeah, I only heard it beep twice, so unless there's some kind of damage to this battery.
I hope not.
Yeah. I didn't do it, I swear. And you guys saw me the whole time, right?
Totally.
You guys are gonna vouch for me? All right. I'm just simply getting his upper receiver back on there. Totally has an orange tip. Don't look at that.
Yeah, don't look at that. Look at this.
Yeah, it's pink, guys. See?
You know, you know. Sorry, one second.
Wait. No. That looks too real.
Shout out CBD, shout out AM, shout out high tappers in general.
Shout out Eddie from HSP. 336, 337. Awesome. Okay. Where's this barrel cover at?
I have no.
It was the Tippmann red one that was sitting over here.
The SC Village one?
SC Village, I'm sorry.
Did that fall down?
Did you steal that?
No. Where'd that go?
It's not there.
Bruh.
How we gonna, bruh. Unless somebody else walked away with it. All right, well, you get a giant tactical one for now and an apology when you come back. And then I guess we get to go look for the guy.
Accident, yeah.
We get to go look for the guy with the SC Village. Okay, so that's one gun done. So that's how you do a normal gearbox change. Now, wouldn't you know it, I have an actual quick change right here. This is not the same system as the Crytac. Because the difference being there is space, and I think I'm going to have to modify my camera angle here. You guys are going to be looking into my lap a little bit more so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm actually going to chrono this one first so I know how much I need to cut.
375.
375? Okay. I'm hearing it's 375. As I take this battery out and the stock off, you guys can see there's actually a hole right there in the receiver that is, wouldn't you know it, large enough for me to pull the spring guide out. So I don't have to take off the pistol grip. I did take the stock off, but only the stock. So pistol grip stayed on, both pins, that stayed in, upper receiver stays on. That saves you a good amount of time. That's why we like quick changes right here. 375, okay, my guesswork. Lancer probably there. Springs cut. By the way, cut side always goes in first. I'd actually like to show you. Let me see if I have a spring to demonstrate with. Yes, okay, this will work. Just got to get this piece of paper out from the inside. Come on. So there's a couple different kinds of springs that you will find in airsoft, main springs rather, for an AEG. We are going to be looking at what's called the spring rate. So if you look at the coils on this spring, you'll notice it's more tightly coiled right here in the rear, and it is further spaced apart up here with a little tight section in there. This is what's known as asymmetrical spring rate. Symmetrical spring rate means the coils would look the same on both sides. Now, Lancer springs actually don't have any kind of change in the symmetry or the spring rate at all. It's literally the same distance between the coils, same strength of the spring. On something like this, you would notice actually, if you were able to hold this in your hand, the further spaced apart coils up here generally, matter of fact, I would say always, are harder to compress than the tighter coils right here. Those ones are easier to bend. This side right here with the tight coils on the rear always, well, it's the rear because it always goes on your spring guide right that, and then the furthest side away from your spring guide, that will always be at the front of your shell. This is always where you're going to cut it. When you cut it, you're always going to drop that end back into your gearbox shell. You don't want to reverse the spring because that can do funny things that I'm not going to explain any further. We got a viewer in the chat that you guys sell WeTech High Kappa T-Rex Comp pistols at the pro shop. You know what? I don't know if we have that particular model, but we definitely carry WeTech here. I am not in a very good spot to go ahead and go look for that downstairs. You can try giving us a call though. I don't know if I explained this before, but the way to actually get the spring guide here out is you're going to push this in, rotate it 90 degrees. Oh, I missed. Hold on. There we go. And it's going to pop out the back under its own tension. You'll notice that there's two lugs right here, and there are lug-shaped holes right here and here on either side of it. There's also the same size holes in the gearbox. Once you twist that 90 degrees, it's going to snap in place inside the gearbox. Now that I've done all that, I'm going to fish his wires back through over here. Reset his buffer tube screw assembly, because it's just easier to get it in if you take everything out and put it together at one time. Now, while I have tension on his wires here, I'm going to pull them down. You'll notice this is sort of like a crescent shape or like a 3/4 circle. That flat part is going to go above the wires right there, so they actually clear. It doesn't have to land in perfectly straight, but that is what we're aiming for. If it doesn't want to go in, you can assist it by pushing on the back of it with your buffer tube screwdriver. And now what I like to do is take it off again like this and look to see if my screw is actually lining up with the back of my spring guide there, to make sure I'm not cross-threading and make sure I'm actually screwing in at all. They're easy to take apart, but sometimes these quick changes can be a little bit tricky to get back together. And if it's not screwing in, then it's possible that the spring guide itself is misaligned. There it is. Sometimes it needs a little bit of assistance. Okay, I'm not going to bother putting the stock back on quite yet. Off camera, going to be chronoing this gun. 343, 344, 347, 347. See if you guys can see that. Yep, 347. Closer to 348. Field limit being 350. I would say we achieved our goal here. Okay, so in the span of a little bit less than half an hour here, we were able to get through 2 of these downgrades. Now, I guarantee you, if we had more of this style of gun, these Lancer style quick change guns, we would have been able to do probably closer to 5 or 6, especially if I wasn't walking you guys through each step of the way. Get that all nice and assembled in there so his wires aren't going to snag when he wants to adjust his stock out. Now look for the back piece that I totally had sitting directly in front of my eyes the entire time. Once you guys cut a spring, it's actually a good idea to full auto it, sort of let the front of the spring settle, because sometimes it being a sharp point, it can sit in there a little funky. Yeah, I'm still getting the same FPS reading after that. Looks like everything's good to go. Okay. Yep, 2 downgrades complete. And I think we're sitting right about 25 minutes right now.
Yeah.
Not too bad, right?
Yeah, not too bad.
Okay. You know what? I didn't full out of this guy's gun, but that's because it didn't appear to have that capability. That definitely sounds like his grip screw's not, the grip's not quite being held in properly. It's kind of got that Crytac screechiness to it, you know?
Old Crytac.
I mean, you see how it sits right there on the back?
Yeah.
I showed this to the stream earlier, but, or maybe I didn't, but there's a little bit of a gap back here that I don't like. And if I push on it, it goes away a little bit, so that means it's not aligned properly, which is not what you want to do with your airsoft gun. All right, downgrades are kind of the bread and butter of what we do here, because a lot of people will bring in guns that they have to go play airsoft, go figure, but the guns shoot hot sometimes. Generally, here in Southern California, you're going to find indoor field limits are 350, outdoors 400. Some of the guns we even sell here shoot over that limit, but if you guys purchase any gun from us, as long as it's an AEG and we have the capability of doing so, if you buy it from us, we will make it field ready for you at no extra cost. So if you buy it like a, I would say the VFC Avalon shoot hot, right, out of the box, like 380 generally.
Yeah, 380, 370, we'll downgrade it.
Yeah, just as an example, yeah. Those are similar to the Crytac system, actually. We have to take the gearbox shell out, but we do that just to sort of facilitate sales. Anything we sell here, we like you guys to be able to use right away. So that's kind of the idea behind it. All right, guys, I think that covers it for today. Oops. Nice. Again, if you had any questions about what you saw here today, we got an email, we got a phone number, we also have this office of ours that you guys can come and pop into during business hours if you guys would like to ask us face to face. Any closing thoughts, Kevin?
Not much. Please be sure to tune in next week. I think.
Do we have anything planned?
Going over our.
Here, talking to my mic, sorry.
Yeah, we're going to be going over the customs next week. We just added a couple new customs. A couple did sell, so.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
A few more.
Yeah, a few more. I think we got a.
We have some more affordable stuff coming in, right?
Yeah, we do have more affordable stuff, and then we have a 45 round a second DSG.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that one's
is-
not quite going to be able to use to
Yeah.
its full
if
limit
you guys
here.
buy that and you guys are going to play here with it, we're probably going to have to semi-lock you, but
Yeah.
if you guys want to, have fun in your private games, 45 rounds a second, So be
Yeah.
on the lookout next week, but we'll see you guys soon.